Hey, hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's Vanessa Simpkins here. Welcome to our live call today. We're talking about time management and growth hacks to help you enjoy your summer. And if you guys give me 1 second here, I'm going to make sure that we invite everybody here. Coaches, join us live for time management. What are your time management? What are your time management questions? We're going to talk about time management hacks, tips, and tricks to help you grow your biz and enjoy summer. And my name is Vanessa Simpkins from TakeYourPowerBackNow.com. And I cannot wait for you to share. I cannot wait to share all of these tips with you guys today. But give me just 1 second so I can invite everybody here. Well, welcome if you're joining us on YouTube. Welcome if you're joining us on Periscope. All right, we're almost there. Almost there. Okay. All right. There we go. Good morning. Good morning. I'm just setting everyone up here. Welcome to our live. Today we're talking about time management, tips and tricks, hacks to help your business grow. It's summertime. Are you guys enjoying your summer? I am so enjoying my summer. People ask me often, Vanessa, how do you manage to get it all done? How do you manage to support your clients? How do you manage when you have 3 kids, 2 dogs, you have a booming business? How do you do it all? How do you stay sane? How do you have time to go to the gym? How do you have time to do all of this? So I'm going to share all of this with you guys here today and give you some really cool tips on how to really get the most out of your time. So welcome to our live training. My name is Vanessa Simpkins and I'm the author of Take Your Power Back Now, the Ultimate Confidence Guide for Women, the author of another cool book around here somewhere called From Bankrupt to Making $900 a Day Selling Mops. And we run an 8-week boot camp called the 10K and 30-Day Mastermind. And we teach new coaches how to really develop these new habits for success. So get this is a writer downer. Success and failure is simply a matter of habits. Success and failure is simply a matter of habits. And that's really good news, because if you're not where you want to be in your business, we're going to talk today about the kind of habits that you need to start adopting or instilling in your, daily, everyday life. And those habits are what are going to give you the results that you want. So if the result is making $10,000 a month in recurring income as a coach, if it's making, $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 a month as a coach, if your goal is to have more free time to spend with your family and keep your income high, just know that your habits are what are going to give you the results that you're after. And here at Take Your Power Back Now, every Monday morning at 8:30 a.m. Pacific, we teach our clients habits for success. And we actually teach them a process called planning. All right. Now you're thinking, hey, Vanessa, planning, everyone plans. Yeah, but some people plan for success and some people plan. If you're not planning, you're planning for failure. So I was at the hairdresser's yesterday. You can't tell because I'm in my hat over here. I went to the gym this morning, and hairdressers, talking, chatting with me, and she's asking me some questions, and we're talking about how my business grew from just me, myself, and I with one little assistant in Pakistan, where I was making about $10,000-$20,000 a month to, $200,000 a month, with a team of 18 to 20 people and all of this worldwide impact. And the answer, comes from a book. So I'm going to tell you guys a little story, and it has to specifically do with time management. And I was talking with my hairdresser yesterday because we're talking about planning. So there's a wonderful book. It lives inside my my bookshelf called Think and Grow Rich. How many of you guys have heard of the book Think and Grow Rich? Okay, everyone's heard of this book. I started reading this book religiously. I read it, 4 times in a row, over and over and over again. And I learned something in that book. All right. And at that stage in my life, I was really ready for my business. I had written a best-selling book. I had expected it to do amazing. It did not give me the results that I wanted. It cost me a lot of money. At that stage in my life, I was wondering, hey, God, Source Spirit, I've done all this work in my business. Where's the reward? And I was disappointed. At the same time, I was going back to Montreal. I'm from Canada. I was going back to Montreal on a visit. And one of my friends over there she's always super popular. And I was wondering, why is she so dang popular? Well, it's because she does all the planning. So book Think and Grow Rich talks to you about how to create a plan and how installing that plan actually installs a belief in your mind. And that's how you get your subconscious mind to accept this new belief, by reading this plan every day and by acting on it. You're telling your higher power, hey, we're doing this. And that is what expresses in the universe. So on 2 levels, here I was looking at this person in Montreal, a good friend of mine, always the most popular, always full of friends, lots busy all the time with fun things because she planned all of the social events. And at the same time, reading in this book, Think and Grow Rich, that planning was really the way to impregnate a subconscious mind. So I got into the habit of planning. Really seriously sitting down and planning all the time. And so, that's really the secret here. The time management is really about planning. So I start my week on Sunday night, Monday morning, and I have, five things that I want to get done. And those are my 5 big projects. All right. And I write them down. I write them down. Actually, I have a weekly focus sheet here. Okay, so yes, I run an online business, but I'm still a paper girl. So this is like, if you see here, it's like a grid, right? And it's got my like essential goals to accomplish this week. So we're launching a podcast. We're launching our affiliate program. There's a video edited on my webinar that I want to do. There's a copywriting class that I want to give my clients. And I'm looking into editing some things in our year-long program. So those are 5 of the essential things that I need to get done, that I want to get done in my business this week. And imagine this, people think, oh my God, I have to write all these long to-do lists. But imagine if you got one thing done in your business every single day. If you just did one really important thing in your business every single day, what would happen at the end of 30 days? Right? You'd have massive momentum. And so that's what I'm inviting you to do, is to get clear on what are the 5 major projects, things that you want to accomplish in your business in a week. Let's just start with that. And from there, the other thing I want to, because a lot of people ask, well, Vanessa, what are those 5 things? I don't know. I'm overwhelmed. I'm trying to start my coaching business, and people tell me I have to do a YouTube video channel. I got to make my website. I got to build my email list. I got to get clear on my program. I got to work on my self-worth. I got to work on my mindset. Like, I got so many things to do. What do I really need to focus on? So I'm reading this really cool book. It's called the 80-20 Principle. The Secret to Achieving More with Less. And I got to tell you, I am really enjoying this book. And when I'm looking at this book, It talks about this Pareto law, which states that 20% of the actions that you do create 80% of the results. So life is really not balanced at all. That's a big fallacy. 20% of the things that you do really dictate and equate to 80% of the results that you want. You can chew on this and marinate on this idea, and I'm like, why do they need to write a whole dang book on one silly concept? But there's a lot of different ways you could apply this concept, which I like. And so if you're an entrepreneur and you're in sales, the 20% that you really need to focus on, those 5 areas, 5 projects that you should be really looking at every week, have to do with generating leads and making sales. That's your 20%. All right. Now I can talk to you about this because in the beginning of my career, I went bankrupt. I was one of these serial entrepreneurs with lots and lots of great ideas, working for other people. And I went bankrupt because, I racked up a ton of debt because I did not understand the importance of marketing and sales. As an entrepreneur has very different behaviors, very different action steps that an employee does, right? You have different habits. So that's why I'm so big on teaching you guys habits for successful thinking, habits for planning. Why? Planning? Well, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon says that, planning is how you get the subconscious mind to believe a new belief. And we know that principles are what give you peace. Okay, Emerson said principles give you peace. Well, the principle he's talking about is like the law of gravity, right? Nobody disputes the law of gravity. So why would you dispute the law of like cause and effect? Whatever you believe must express itself. Think and Grow Rich, read that book. And don't just read it, apply it. It's going to change your life. I read it back to back 4 times, and then I decided to make a plan. Now, I made a plan, and my plan was to attract my husband. I got married and met an amazing man. Check that sucker out. Yeah, it's a big ring. It worked, and it worked so well in an area that I had so much trouble in, romance and attracting a partner. And when I attracted my husband, I made a man plan, and I followed it, and it worked. And I married an amazing man. And when it worked for love, I decided to take that same plan and use it for money. And my income went from $170,000 to $450,000 to $1.6 million year after year. And we also teach our clients here in the 10K and 30-day program.com exactly how to use some of these principles, these habits that I'm sharing with you. So number 1, we want to look at what is the 80-20 principle for you? What is the 20% of the activities? Where are you right now? What do you need to focus on? What are those 20%? What is the activity, the 20% that you need to focus on right now to give you the 80% of the results? How are you generating leads and how are you enrolling sales? I'm going to tell you right now, in the beginning of a business, especially a coaching business, you need to focus on that. Any activity around that, and just focus on that. Now, again, if you want our help, head on over to our website. Come and check us out. We've got a great 8-week program. You get to work with me and my entire team, and we walk you through piece by piece, how to generate leads, how to make sales, how to get clear in your program. The website is called 10kin30dayprogram.com. Okay, next we talked about planning. You should spend some time, ideally in the beginning of your week, to plan out your activities and actually put them in the calendar. So I'm going to give you guys three tools that I really love to use that are really indispensable for me in my business. And one of them is, a Google Calendar. You guys have Gmail. Everyone's got Gmail. Well, Gmail gives you, the ability of having a calendar. So I use that online calendar like crazy. Now, the fun thing about having a Gmail calendar is that you can have several calendars. You can have a marketing calendar, you can have a sales calendar, you can have a coaching call calendar, you can have a personal calendar. And I recommend that you treat your business like a business. So put in the important tasks, in your calendar every week and make them recurring. So for example, and this is a good planning, right? You're either going to plan or you're going to plan. Without planning, you're planning to fail. Planning also lets the subconscious mind know that, hey, you're creating this belief and that must express. Using a Google Calendar and treating not only your business and putting into a recurring time, capsule, but also doing the same thing for your personal life. And if you're an entrepreneur, chances are you're probably overwhelmed with a whole huge to-do list. What is, oh my God, how do I manage that? So I'm going to talk to you about that here in a moment. But I also want you to put in your self-care in there too. Massage every 2 weeks or every week, or, downtime, or, is it outside supper with your family? What are the habits that you're going to use to turn off your business? Because let me tell you what, as you become more and more successful, your to-do list will get bigger and it's never ending. All right. Which brings up another point I'm going to share with you, coming back to my hairdresser. And I know I'm totally on a freaking rant this morning, but it's just great. I'm happy you guys are here. Let me know if you guys can all hear me, and let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to tune in here on Facebook and take a twirl here. As you guys solve more problems in your business, you're going to have more problems. Okay. And this is something that, a lot of coaches think, oh, well, one day, I'm going to solve all my problems and it's all going to be done. I'll be good. But that's not how life happens. Hey, what's up, Cindy? Hey, what's up, Akram? Welcome. So the problem is you think you shouldn't have any problems. This is Tony Robbins said that a while ago, and I really, really loved that. This notion, this idea that the problem is you think you shouldn't have problems. Hey, what's up, Nicole? Give me a shout out if you guys are joining me and you can hear me and see me. I'd love to say hi. Let me know if you have any questions for me specifically. I'd love to answer them for you. As you grow and solve more problems in your business, you're going to create more problems. So it never ends. And so you being able to manage, your time and more importantly, figure out which are the most high priority tasks that you should spend your time on is what's going to allow you to grow or stay in the same, right? So you have to be able to make, you have to be able to assess your projects as, okay, this is a priority, this is not a priority. And what happens to a lot of entrepreneurs is, oh, the phone rings, oh, ding, oh, they're reacting. So what I like to do, when I'm going to work on things is, and this goes to you, let's say if you're a coach and you're just doing your one-on-one coaching, maybe it's only you're like a solopreneur right now. What I did in the beginning was I had certain days that I would do certain things. So for example, Tuesdays and Thursdays were coaching days. And those were the only days. Hey, what's up, Jazz? Congratulations on all your amazing sales, by the way. Jazz is in our 8-week boot camp and she's rocking it right now. So let's say Tuesdays and Thursdays were my days to do sales calls. All right. And so, or were my days to do coaching calls. And let's say Wednesdays and Fridays were sales calls. Tuesdays and Thursdays, were the opposite. Hey, what's up, Gabrielle? So I suggest that you let your brain get into a certain mode, especially when you're going to be doing sales. You need to be focused on sales. It's kind of like you're warming up a car, right? If you ever lived in Canada like I did, in -20, you had to let your car warm up for 5 minutes before you jump in the dang thing. It's the same thing with sales. Get your brain in the sales mode. So sales all day, and then the next day, let's say, is coaching. So segment your activities. Same thing with writing. So if I'm going to do a creative activity like writing emails or writing a promotional copy or writing posts for social media, I'm calling that copywriting. I'm going to give myself a quiet space in the morning. Why? Because I know that I'm very creative in the morning. And I'm going to do it in a time when everybody else is asleep. I'll maybe wake up at 5 a.m. The dogs are not going to harass me. The kids are not, they're still sleeping. Hubby might be at work already or still sleeping. And I'm going to give myself a chunk, usually, 2 to 3 hour chunk of uninterrupted time to sit down and write. And that becomes a recurring, event in my calendar. So treat not only, your business as if it's the client, but also, I put everything in my calendar. I put when I'm going to get a massage in there, girl time in there, relaxing time in there. And you're going to have to be okay with, things, not getting everything done. The to-do list is never going to be finished. It's going to be never ending. So what I like to do Again, I run an online business. It's, you know, we do over $1 million, and I still like to write on the paper. Okay. So I always have one of these notebooks, and every day, let's say my Monday starts, okay, today's Tuesday, and I have, you know, I even put my shower on there. So I have like, what's going on today? All right. I have 9 a.m. I had a team leadership meeting. Then I had a meeting with my business manager. Now I have the live at 11 a.m. I've got a call with a client at 12:30. I have shower on there. I haven't showered yet because I just came back from the gym. I have writing on there. I have a video that I'm going to look at, something else to write up, and then I have dinner. All right. So this becomes like my one pager of the day. And if you're a solopreneur, chances are you've got a ton of to-dos on that paper. And so in the morning, one of the things, you know, that will be very helpful for you is to prioritize what should be done first. And what should be done first is the thing that you least want to do. And it's that 20%. It's that thing that's going to help you generate leads and sales. That becomes your number one. Oftentimes the mind, the thing that it really doesn't want to do or is afraid to do, or, you know, especially when you're dealing with sales, it's like, oh, I don't want to be rejected, so I'm not going to focus on that, right? And it makes things, you know, it creates resistance. It makes things a lot worse than they are, right? Like, especially associated with pain of rejection, pain of going to the gym and, oh, I'm working out my muscles, oh, I don't want to do it, and you get out of the gym and you're like, oh my gosh, I love this. This feels fantastic, feels great. So always tackle the thing that you least want to do the first, all right? Because everything else after will become easy. And then prioritize, you know, what's the most important thing? And you write it down, number 1, number 2 on the list, and then you can cross them off. I love lists. I love to see things. I'm a very visual person. So time management hacks. There's Google Calendar. That's one of the tips. Use your Google Calendar, and you can create separate calendars that you can toggle on and off. So for example, you might have a marketing calendar that you create for yourself where, you know, you have chunks of time where you're working on your promotional things. You might have certain days when you do client calls and sales calls, or creative chunks of time. Put your personal stuff in there as well. Treat your downtime like a client as well. Don't infringe on that. And then make lists. You know, 2 of the things that I use are these books. I buy a whole bunch of them at Walmart. I love my paper, but I also use the notepad. Who here has an iPhone or a Mac? They have this setting called notes, right? Where you could start a note. I love this. I love this because you can put even these little dots on there and make like a little checklist for yourself. I love it. So I use notes all the time. If I have an idea, I will pop it in here. I will make myself, you know, a list even on the phone for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, what I want to do. And, you know, so nothing really escapes me. And then the next thing I love, the third key that I want to share with you is this really cool app called Wunderlist. Wonder, W-U-N-D-E-R list. Jazz says she uses Evernote, okay? Whatever you use. Evernote, Wunderlist is really cool. You can create different lists. You can create a work list, an everyday list. I have a real estate list to do. I got a family list. I got a this weekend. I got while in Hawaii list. I got a to-buy list. I got a short list. Travel plans and ideas. Great ideas to act on. I got big projects list. I got this week. I got today. Groceries, movies to watch. I mean, I got all kinds of lists in here. Karen says iPhone also has voice memos. Yep. You can leave yourself a voice memo too, which is great. And it'll catch it as you're on the go. So I love to use this Wunderlist, okay, to capture my big ideas. And I use it when I'm on the plane. I love sometimes I will book a plane ride just to have completely uninterrupted space. Now you can get like Wi-Fi on a plane. But I used to love plane rides because no one can, you know, disturb me. I'm in a little bubble and I've got, you know, this time to go and clean and look at things. And your time, you know, your time is, you should really guard your time, and also to clean. So, you know, your house, for example, if you have crap all over the place, it's indicative that your mind is full of crap. right? So take time to clean your desktop. That's also in my calendar once a month. Take time to go back and read. The reason why I have these big books here is because when I get to the end of it, I stop everything, I take a morning, and I go back over the book, and I capture ideas that I haven't acted on yet, and I put them somewhere. So it's kind of like an ongoing list of to-dos, right? And great ideas, because here's the deal, you guys. You know, one idea that you act on can make you millions of dollars. One idea. And your higher powers talking to you, intuition, giving you little ideas. The fastest ways to get to your goal often is just acting on that little nudge of intuition. So when I get ideas that come and niggle on me, you know, once or twice, if it's happening more than once, I write it down and I make sure that I capture it somewhere. So Wonderlist, notes, Google Calendar, plan your week. What's the 80-20 principle? And then make sure that you have, you know, segmented times for sales calls, segmented times for coaching calls, chunks of time, recurring events. Now, the other thing I can tell you that's really, you know, helped me not only grow my business, but, you know, save my marriage is there's a 5 o'clock, turn the iPhone off and throw it in a bowl upside down in the kitchen. And that's it. And now work time is over and family life begins. All right, we've got 3 kids here at supper time. There's homework time to be, now it's summer, but you know, there's homework, there's supper, that, you know, kids want your attention, dogs want to go for a walk. And you can't, you know, it's crazy to think that your business is going to be balanced. All right, that is simply untrue. There are times where it's going to be go time, gas time, push time, launch time, make this thing happen time, and it's going to throw out the balance in the rest of your life. Get ready for that. That is going to happen for you, okay? And as that's happening, you know, I still manage to put a few rules around that. All right, I still maybe I'm going to be very, very busy for a couple of days. But at 5 o'clock, I'm going to take my phone, I'm going to put it away and turn it off, and okay, here I am now. So don't ever think that, oh my gosh, my life is so crazy, it's so wild. It's not going to be like that forever. It's a lens that I want to invite you, into adopting. As you're growing your business, there's going to be a go time, and it will be for a short time. Maybe there's a week or two that's, you're really focusing on finishing this project. And then, time will dial back. So keep that in mind when you're looking at yourself, okay? Because the mind immediately is going to say, oh my God, it's going to be like this forever. It's not going to be like this forever. So one of the things that I like to do also in a private conversation with myself is, okay, hey, Vanessa, I will say to myself, for the next, 30 days or 90 days or for the next week or for however long I'm going to make this work, this is going to require, your time. And then after that, guess what? I'm going to go on vacation. I'm going to go to Las Vegas. I'm going to go to Hawaii. I'm going to plan in my schedule. Here's another tip. Plan your work, but also plan your play so that you have that payoff, that payday for when, to give you something to stay in the game and to stay engaged and to keep on it. You've got to give yourself some, plan out the work, but plan out the play as well so that you know that there's something coming. Jazz says, I need to create more events. Yeah, why not? Create more events in your calendar. Use your calendar. These are tools that have really worked for me. And then the last key that I really want to share with you guys is that, and this is another thing I've been having conversations with a lot of entrepreneurs about this, this idea that everything has to be balanced all the time. You see all these yogis and they're all like Zen. It's so bullshit. Okay. I do yoga. I'm telling you right now, I've been in business now for 8 years. I'm still here. And we're doing really well in the marketplace. We help women from all over the world. We have a wonderful success rate. We have testimonials upon testimonials. I have to make a whole new website for all the testimonial videos on my website, takeyourpowerbacknow.com. And I can tell you that your life is never always going to be balanced. That's a fallacy. That's a lie. And I think the sooner you get into your mind that it's okay. So for example, maybe I'm working on my marriage this month, so my health, maybe I'm not going to go to the gym as often. Okay. Or maybe it's the opposite way around. Maybe, you know what, I'm really going to focus on my health, and my business projects and maybe my marriage might go a little bit on the sideline, while that is on the forefront. And I'm going to be okay with that. So what if the dogs don't go for a walk at 6:45 in the morning before the people start playing on the golf course? Who cares? Maybe I'll take them for a walk at 2:00. Right? They're going to start trotting in my office now because they hear me use a W word. But you need to, it's kind of like this trap, having the consistent routine is really great, but it also becomes a trap that you feel like you have to always, be at that certain level. And the truth is, life is an ebb and a flow. It's a give and a take. And so if you can get your head around the fact of making decisions, and decisions that directly affect how you judge yourself in your performance. So, okay, I'm going to make a decision that for the next 2 days or 5 days or 90 days or whatever it is, I'm really going to make this happen in my health or in my business or in my marriage or with the kids or, whatever your focus is, and be all right with the other things maybe taking a back seat. That's called real life. # real life. This really happens. What is unrealistic is to think that you can have everything all at once. Okay, I get this question asked a lot. People ask me, Vanessa, you're teaching us about manifesting. I love how I'm doing my business, but what if I want to manifest more than one goal at a time? You can have everything that you want, but you can't have it all at the same time. So I would say pick your top 2 goals, let's say, or like I'm teaching you here, find a ritual every Monday where you're looking, and you're getting clear on what are the top 5 things that you want to do in your business this week. Pick your priorities, right? And be okay with that. Now, the other thing that I'm going to share with you here is that, on my weekly focus, we give these out to our clients. But on my weekly focus, I have my essential goals that I want to accomplish this week for my business. And I also have projects, right? Now, projects are, certain things that, I'm buying a house, so I'm going to remodel the kitchen. Okay, so that's kind of like a project. Meetings that I want to have with people, getting my hair done, getting my wedding pictures printed. I got married last year and I still haven't printed my wedding pictures. Such a big project in my head, so that is always a project. I, take a little snippet, a little bite out of it every week and move it forward. So it's kind of on my projects list. And then I also have on this weekly focus accomplishments that I did last week. A mentor, Henry Evans, once shared this with me, and I just love it. And so I'm going to show you here. This planning form starts with actually an accomplishment paper. And because as we sit down to look at, wanting to accomplish more, we forget all of the steps that we've already done. So what if we reversed the whole thing? And what if we sat down to plan our week and to get more done by actually acknowledging ourselves for everything that we've done in the past week? Then wouldn't you start with like a really big grateful heart and a pat on your back instead of a, oh my God, I'm not there yet. I have so much more to go still, right? Remember that your perspective on any given matter, including your time, what decisions you make about yourself, what decisions you make about your time are going to impact your ability to act, to show up, or to beat yourself up. So your perspective, what perspective are you taking? And what beliefs even do you have about time? Cindy says, thanks for reminding me of ebb and flow of life. Yeah, you're welcome. One of my all-time favorite affirmations is, I always have plenty of time to do everything I need to do. I always have plenty of time to do everything I need to do. I always have plenty of time to do everything I need to do. if I have that mantra going in the back of my mind, guess what? I'm really peaceful and calm because I always have plenty of time to do everything I need to do. When I'm running around saying, oh my God, I have no time, I have no time, I have no time, I'm so busy, yeah, you freak yourself right out. And then I come back to this 80-20 rule. What is the 20%? What is the 20% of the actions that I really need to take that are going to generate the 80% of the results I'm after? And let me just eliminate, if it doesn't fall into that 20% bucket, I just don't touch it. I don't even do it. I don't even think about it. I just let it fall off. Because how many of you guys as an entrepreneur are hit with like 10,000 ideas and you think, oh my gosh, this is great. I want to do that. I want to do this. And then I put the perspective, the filter on it of, but do you really need, is that really going to bring you what you want? Is that just, squirrel, an idea? Or is it actually an idea that's going to, does it fall into my 20% bucket? What's the 20% bucket again? Generating leads and closing sales. If you focus on that, my friends, I guarantee you are going to have a lot more leads and a lot more sales. Now, a lot of entrepreneurs don't want to focus on that because mindset issues, don't want to have rejection, don't want to face, having people reject them. And oh my gosh, so now we talk about concepts of sales and selling. Let's save that for another live. I hope you guys found some nuggets in today's training. Again, my name is Vanessa Simpkins from TakeYourPowerBackNow.com. If you guys would like to sharpen your skills and create more habits for success as a six-figure coach, check out our 10K in 30-day program.com and stay tuned here for more awesome trainings. We're doing lives every Tuesday and Friday straight to your home. And I want to thank you guys again for tuning in, whether you're on Periscope or YouTube or Facebook. I love you guys. Let me know if you guys have any questions or comments. Drop them here below, and I'll see you guys real soon. Bye, everyone.